I want to talk with you about a woman who is a model of faith. And we're on number 31 out of 117 scriptures in the Old Testament that every person should know. And this woman's name is Ruth. And you might ask me, how is she a model of faith? Well, she wasn't an Israelite. She was a Moabite. She was from another tribe. She was a foreigner. And she's a model of faith in the way that she became part of the people of Israel. As a matter of fact, for generations afterwards, people could look at her words and say, that's how I feel. That's how I want to become part of the people of God. And so let's look at the story of Ruth, who was married to an Israelite, and her husband died, and she was with her mother-in-law, whose name was Naomi, which means I am pleasant. And her mother-in-law would joke around. Well, maybe she wasn't joking. She would say, don't call me I am pleasant, call me bitter, because she felt that her life had become bitter. And Ruth said, no, Naomi, I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to go with you. And by doing so, Ruth was not only able to find an Israelite and marry him, but according to a special law in ancient Israel, that descendant became a descendant of Naomi as well. So let's go to the story of Ruth, and let's go to chapter 1. Okay, I want to go to chapter 1. I want to look at verse 17, okay? And actually, it's chapter 15. Chapter 1, verse 15. So chapter 1, verse 15, and Naomi is basically saying to Ruth, go your way. My son has died. You're no longer married to him. Just go back to your people. And Ruth says, no, I'm not going to go back to them. So let's look at chapter 1, verse 15. And she said, see, your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and her gods. Return after your sister-in-law. But Ruth said, entreat me not to leave you or to return from following you. For where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord do so to me and more, and if even death parts me from you. And when Naomi saw that she was determined to go with her, she said no more. So what happened at this point is that Ruth went back to the promised land, and she actually ended up marrying an Israelite and having children. And under a special law in ancient Israel, those children were considered to be the children of her deceased husband. Thus, Naomi became a grandmother. And why are these verses important in the book of Ruth? Because do you want to be a disciple of Christ? Do you want to be joined to the people of God? Journey with them. Walk with the church together. You're not just out living the faith on your own, doing your own thing. A lot of people have a very confused modern concept of Christianity where it's just like me and Jesus alone. Well, maybe on certain situations, yes, but we're supposed to be journeying together as a church. And if you look at Ruth's words, she's basically saying, I'm going to become part of this people. I'm going to become part of this community. I'm going to journey with them. I'm even going to die with them. And why are these words important? Because all of us as disciples in Christ are called to have the same attitude, to become part of the community of God's people, His church, to journey with them and even die with them. And so you can see how Ruth became a model for Israelites, not just for people who were coming in as foreigners, but for all Israelites, of how to be part of God's people. May the Lord help us to be part of the church in the same way so that we serve Christ together.